If you only do one thing this year, this is it. You are going to want to do circles with your staff so that staff can do them with students. It is the number one thing for belonging, class culture, staff culture, all the things. And it's great because while you're building staff culture, you're also teaching staff what they can do with students. Super pumped. Let's get into it. I'm going to show you a template and you can use it tomorrow. Here is our circle template. So we have a topic or purpose of the circle. This is just pretty general, like staff culture building or stories about names or whatever. Circle facilitators, I put this on here because sometimes you can have more than one facilitator. This is great when you're teaching your staff to facilitate and you're asking them to facilitate. It's also great for staff to do with students when they are equipped and ready for students to take over. Now, the three main parts of the circle: opening ceremony, activity, and closing circle. If you are co-facilitating, you have the person responsible that they can add in here. Again, I did this because I created this template for students to be able to take and run with it and create a lesson and facilitate it in the form of a circle. So feel free to take that part out if you'd like. This is going to be an editable template for you. In your opening ceremony, this often is something like a quote, a picture. People are reflecting on their weeks, Rosebud Thorn, 30-second meditation, whatever it is. I put some examples here for you, but you don't have to be limited to those. Go ahead and jot some ideas. Tell me how many minutes it's going to be. Then the core activity is going to be questions. Sometimes it's an activity and then you debrief with a question. So I put a bunch of things on here. These are primarily focused on kind of culture building ideas for the activities, and then the discussion questions can take the form of full circles, popcorn, where you just have a few people raise their hand, and then you're going to throw them the ball or the talking piece, whatever it is, partner triad, kind of turn and talk, and then the whole group can share out. That's great if you have a really big staff and you want to make sure that everyone has a chance to speak. Write in your questions here or the activities. Tell me how many minutes total that's going to be. And then your closing ceremony is very similar to the opening. It just kind of forms the end of the circle, delineating that the discussion is over. Anytime you want materials, you can put them here. If you want to talk with your staff about an issue in the community, a current event that students are talking about, or that you just want staff to be able to process, this is super important. I highly recommend it. I talk a lot about this stuff. We have tons of other videos and podcasts about this, so go check them out. This is a great kind of more scaffolded version to be able to think about, right? What does this issue look like? Choose a word. How does the word make you feel? Why does this issue exist? What do you need to help solve it? And this is also great for staff who are potentially struggling with something that might eventually make them leave the profession. And we need to solve it to make sure our community is a great learning environment, but also so that staff feel supported. So, wonderful template here. It takes just a few minutes to plan one of these. Just a few minutes, some thought, but it doesn't take a lot of research and gathering materials. It's a few questions, a quick opening and closing ceremony. Maybe you pick a quote or two, and you're done. Super high leverage, amplifies belonging, all the good things. So why are we talking about this? I just walked you through how to do a circle, and I did not mention that a circle typically, as you may already know, has a talking piece. We're going to make sure that everyone has one chance to speak or a chance to pass if they'd like. You go around full circle, only the person with the talking piece speaks. And often, and this is critical, you have nothing in front of you, no furniture, just chairs, open bodies kind of connecting to one another. Very different than like someone could be texting under the table or something. So those are your tips for that. Now, back to why this is great. So this is wonderful because it only takes you a few minutes to plan. You have a magnitude higher of belonging with your staff. And again, staff can do this with students. So huge investment in relationship building. You could also make it academic. You could make this about a problem of practice with your staff, and then staff could actually make this about a book they're reading, a content piece that they're studying, a current event related to the content. So you could do both at the same time. You're transmitting information and grappling with some content as well as building relationships. Super high leverage, not a huge time investment in terms of planning, and you get so much out of it. It's going to keep teachers in the profession. It's going to keep students excited about your class and building those relationships with you. So let me know how it goes. Links in the description. See you next week. If you love this video, you're going to absolutely love my curriculum bootcamp. In just 2 days, we have a live experience that helps your department create feminist, anti-racist curricula that challenges, affirms, and inspires all students. We also have a self-paced course option for teachers or departments who want to go at this at their own pace. Check it out. I'll link to it in the notes below.